Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Why they got us cutting up? Woo! Why they got us cutting up? Woo! Why they got us cutting up? Yeah. Why they got us cutting up? Woo! Yeah. Who you know got a flow like this? Tell me who got a flow like God.
Welcome back for another installment of Cuttin Up Talk and Podcast. As usual, I got to my left the magnificent lady SDOT Lee.
Hey, hello.
How you feeling?
Good.
You
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. You're looking good.
You looking good
If you're
too.
listening to us on podcast, you're missing out. So
For
you might want to go over and watch the show so you can see what we're all seeing right now. And then, you know, we got a special guest in the building today. The same damn guest we have every episode. Magnificent, wonderful, talented superhero, Mr. Wavyy Jonez in the building.
What's up? What's up? You already know the vibes, man. The voice of the youth in the building.
There you go.
He
That's
just
what
call
I'm
us old.
talking about.
He just call us old.
Okay.
Nah, he just called I gotta represent.
I don't know. I'm so youthful myself.
Right, exactly. And last but definitely not least, my dog.
Yeah.
Mr. Robert Covington.
From the womb to the tomb, my cuz. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
How we doing, y'all? Good to see you, man.
Call him Country Pete. It's Country Pete over here.
Hey, man, every now and then you gotta
Country Pete.
hit that twang in.
Yeah. Carolina boys.
You ain't lying.
We got two from Carolina, and then, you know, I didn't even think of that. And we got New York in the building and Jersey
East
in the building.
Coast.
Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
okay. And
Taking over the whole East
South,
Coast.
The
East.
North and
I
South.
like there it is.
Yeah, the North and South repping strong. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Even though
Oh,
Wavy's an LA guy now, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, things happen.
How's LA treat?
Sometimes you have to go up there,
You know.
It happens.
And so,
It's like that.
right. And even though he's not on camera, we have another special guest who's not on the show, but he is visiting us from LA. Speaking of LA, want to give a shout out to my business partner, Chase and Beecham.
Big
He's in the show.
Big
Chase the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The crowd
Such
goes
a dope
wild.
My
spirit.
light-skinned brother.
Give him a shout out there. Polymark Entertainment. We coming. You'll see it soon.
Nice.
So, you know, I want to go ahead and jump right in. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time. You know, I like to have fun with y'all when we get started. Today, we're going to have some fun that, you know, a lot of people don't have fun with,
Yeah.
at least in the media. You know, they're always so serious, and they have to. You know, you have to be serious delivering news and whatnot, even if it's real or fake news. But we're cutting up. We're the Cuttin Up Talk Show. We don't have to be serious. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
So we're going to talk about politics today. I want to go over some of the things that's happening in national politics right now, but I more so want to just get you guys take. You guys have some really just brilliant and twisted minds, and so how you see the world is going to be enlightening and very different for a lot of people, and including myself. That thunder, you like that?
Oh, yo, that messed me up, though.
That's
We
not
all did the
because it
man
sounds
challenge
different in
first.
here.
I was trying not to react with my eyes. Like, I went right to Wavyy. Like,
Lord, is that you?
Yeah.
And
so,
you know, if one person jump up, everybody at this table gone.
oh, forget about it.
So God is on the soundboards. He was
Yeah.
a
He was
little early with that clue.
He
bomb.
was with it. What's up?
It was a
How you
perfect
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah, it was.
So
About to get real.
right. So I just want to get you guys' perspective on the state of politics today, and you know, some of the people that you're noticing, or you know, that you would like to see gone, or like to see uplifted, or
Donald Trump.
Let's just start out there. We're going to throw out the cards. And
Start
make it
with the
happen.
orange guy.
Okay.
Donald Trump.
All right, no date or nothing, just straight to bed.
All right.
You can get on
So
that.
what would you say about Donald Trump, though? Like, it's so much to say.
so
Oh my God, such a loaded.
Wait, you don't like Donald Trump?
I like
Oh, I thought it was a
like
joke.
everyone.
You like everyone? Okay, that was a non-answer.
I'm thoroughly
Like,
entertained.
You need to be in
by
politics, girl.
Now,
I
see,
would say
that's
that.
a
Yeah.
good question that I want to know you guys' opinion on. Donald Trump pre-presidency. How did you feel about him before he was president?
He was that dude.
No, why? Why was he that dude?
I mean, he was on every entertainment station back in the day. Like, he was on WWE. He had the Apprentice. He was on all this stuff, and he was just an asshole, and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but now I didn't want to see him get into office now. So it's just it's different. It's like, okay, I wanted the asshole stuff to stay on TV for reality shows. I didn't want to see him in office.
He was
Right.
a good entertainer in some areas.
Yeah.
But
I don't even think he was an entertainer though.
He was just him.
I think he was just so off the rails. And he had,
and see, I think that makes
was,
the best entertainer somebody that can be completely themselves. Like everybody always mention, like Denzel. Has Denzel really played many characters that he's not playing Denzel or Sam Jackson? And Donald Trump did the same thing, but then he became the president, and everybody's like, hold up. No, we don't want that there though. You know,
if you think dude is super strategic, because even I feel like he's been grooming. I feel like he knew this trajectory way before we knew.
Nah.
You don't shit. I bet you did. Yeah.
You know,
I feel like I don't know if like 10 years ago he was like, oh, I'm gonna be the president then. But I feel like well before we knew, he was already like, oh, I'm gonna make this move and I'm gonna strategically make this move. Oh, put me on TV here. Let me get in these rooms because this is where I'm headed.
But he
definitely
to me when I and there I think you are correct. And this is I'm not telling you if you're wrong or right because I'm not the foremost authority. But in my opinion, as far as being strategic, I think he's about as strategic as a 16-year-old girl on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not saying it to insult him.
Right.
I have many other things I could use to insult him.
Absolutely.
I'm saying it
There's
as
so
far
much.
as I'm saying it as far as you see a 16-year-old nobody, right? Who becomes, let's not even go to super crazy end, but let's say she amasses 600,000 followers,
right?
And just doing crazy stuff and whatever, and she really isn't adding anything to society. And I'm not saying all 16-year-old females do. I'm just making an example of one who just does random, crazy, stupid stuff and
and no real actual talent,
no real actual talent or anything like that. Just polarizing because you can't believe some of the shit you're seeing, right?
Right.
And so one might say, well, she's making money off her Instagram now, social media. She's known around the globe now. She's got almost 1 million followers. Well, she's got to be strategic, right? No, people like to sit and look at a mess happen.
But do people think that though? Because I've never seen somebody like the bad baby chick, and I never was like, oh, she's strategic.
You don't like Bad Baby?
I didn't say I didn't like her.
Yo, that's sad. Who's bad?
No,
baby,
I didn't say I don't like her or like, whoa, Vicky. What I'm saying is I never looked at them and said, oh, she strategically got here. To me, I felt like it was what you said.
So you're trying to say he did the Kim
happened
Kardashian
and she's running with it. You know what I'm saying?
Ended up famous.
You think that's what ultimately happened with Donald Trump then?
But
I think Donald Trump was strategic.
You think so?
Okay, got you. Yeah.
I do.
Like, I gotta ask, what gives you that opinion?
Because, okay.
Was it the stable genius comment? Did you fall for the hype?
No, I didn't. But like in watching his movements, like even when he had his show, and how, because I watch certain things. So like when he was on there with what's the beautiful lady from Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Don't give me the line.
Yeah,
with the pretty hair.
You talking about the Darcy? What's her name?
Because she was up there, and her and someone else kept getting. Was it Vivica Fox? They kept getting into it.
Vivica was on there?
Yeah.
I didn't know Vivica Fox was on there.
So listen, they were they were on. I cannot believe her
no,
name is escaping me right now. She's from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She has a pretty beautiful hair, and everybody thought her hair was fake. Her hair is real.
Even Longoria?
Not Nene Leakes.
Not Nene. She's getting into it with Nene right now.
Tammy
like she
Roman?
gets into it with everybody a little bit.
Tammy Roman, she gets into it a lot.
Well, people will know. Somebody's saying
any
it.
of
Somebody's
these
listening to this. They're like, it's her. But sorry, I don't remember your name, beautiful woman. But she was on the show, and I was watching how he was handling everyone and all these different personalities. And he's sitting back, and I would see him say something, and people would react, and you can see him smirk like. The dude is strategic. I don't care what anybody says. The dude is a mastermind with certain things.
Look, I don't want to give him that credit. I know.
Give it to him.
No,
but it's the truth,
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to back it up.
Okay.
What you just described is funny because when you do like thorough research, and I'm saying none of y'all didn't do no research.
Right.
I'm saying when you do thorough research on this dude, because I love politics. And I had to know how did this dude get to this place, right? Being a moron, because he is a moron, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. All of that, you got to understand the system he came up in, that he was surrounded, right? The best thing his father did for him was, I don't know if he had conversations with these people or he sat him aside and said, this is what you need to do because you're a moron. And this is how I'm going to make sure you survive. I can't expect you to do this with your own brain. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. So what he did was either his father told him or his father gifted him those people before he died, and they just kept the trend going.
Oh, I could see that.
I can give you that.
Hold on, because they're getting money and all that, right? Mm-hmm. And what either he did or the people kept it going for Donald Trump and his business was to keep people around who do have a brain and who do know how to do certain things, but could also take his abuse,
smart business,
his mental abuse, because they were getting paid enough out of it, right?
Right.
So you take that factor. One of the things that he was talked about or known for doing was pitting his people against each other, because he's a Cro-Magnon. He thinks, how I find whoever's the best out of everyone, I'll put all these people together, make them scrap, and then whoever's left is who the best is.
Okay, he's good at doing that.
But you're talking about educated people, people who are, it's so beneath them.
Right.
But the amount of money they were making to do it and keep this dude at least afloat, because he's not a billionaire. He might have now became a billionaire
Donald Trump?
as president. Yeah, it was already debunked.
I thought he was.
No, it was.
He
debunked.
sold off his assets a long time ago.
So he lied to who was it? Forbes. When they do the Forbes list, they had to go back and remove him out of their official records.
Wow.
Really?
On their richest list. You know how they do those
Yeah,
richest
Right.
lists? And he literally,
Now it's just
there's
Jeff Bezos.
videos, you can go on YouTube and all that stuff. He
So he
actually
lied.
pretended to be his own accountant.
You know
and
what?
Then said,
No.
this is what he's worth. But here's the thing.
Okay, in that case, I have to say she's right. That is very strategic.
Isn't it?
Not
No,
right, but,
no, but look,
That's how I'm gonna get a star and roll next to y'all. I'm like, listen,
See,
she's
if
the best.
If I take a knife and with no experience, no skill, and I just throw that shit on the wall, now, it's a 50-50 chance that joint is going to stick in the wall, but there's a chance it won't, right?
Yeah.
Now, you don't look at the 2,000 knives on the ground. You look at the 10 stuck in the wall and say, he's a master knife thrower.
You're right.
Anybody can throw shit up against the wall
That's
to see
true.
what sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not strategy.
Only the person
That's
that can
just-
do that is that one that can that can buy that many knives, though. And so in that case, he was the one that could buy that
Which is
many
still
knives.
strategically
If you
done.
buy 1,000,000 knives, yes, you're gonna get 10 to stick.
Right, but dude is so upside down. I
Yeah.
mean,
He
the whole
is.
situation
We
with
can
Deutsche
definitely-
Bank, and we can get into money laundering for the Russians through
Just
his
everything.
properties and all that. But he's so upside, and that's what the whole thing was about with him and them wondering, was he compromised? Because everyone knew, it's like, dude, everyone in intelligence and all that stuff, like, do you guys know how much money this dude is into?
Wow.
Because the thing I will give him credit for is he's a master liar.
Oh yeah.
And
He
so,
definitely is.
and
Yeah,
so-
That's the
that's
truth.
something we can all agree
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Absolutely.
But that's
For
what
sure.
he used. So what he did was, like I said, he would lie to Forbes, inflate assets and everything else, right?
Yeah.
And make it seem like he really had all this money. But because he was always in the media, Forbes just assumed, why would he lie?
Like it's true.
Yeah.
You know, right? So they
Dang.
called me and said, no, this ain't Trump.
Crazy.
This is Trump's accountant, so and so, and he's worth this. These properties are worth this, and they just said, okay, thanks. And then they throw him on the list. So guess what the rest of the
Wow.
world sees? Oh, Trump
That
is a
this is
billionaire.
right.
And you know what he did with that? Him and his people would go to Deutsche Bank and others and be like,
And get loans.
I need a $200 million loan.
Wow.
Easy.
Well, you're assuming, of course he's got it. I'm not going to do a bunch of digging.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he's a billionaire.
Right.
So, of course. And then they give him the money. And dude just kept flipping, going to get another loan, pay off some of that loan.
And now
then
you look like you
bankrupt
got
his
heavy
company.
assets, so you can keep moving.
Right. It's Instagram.
That's part of that. That's part of that game.
If Instagram was a
lying.
person.
Yeah, it would be
That's
Donald
who it
Trump.
is, yeah.
Right.
Legit.
You just shook the
Wow.
room with that one. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
If
I didn't
So-
know
Instagram
that.
was a person.
I saw this thing going around where they were saying, if you saw Donald Trump drowning, and he's drowning and asking for help, what do you do?
Is he,
Ask him how much.
Is he still the president or not the president?
Hey, look, bro, this is your life. You get a choice.
Right now, currently, you see him drowning. There's no one around, just you and him. What do you do?
Record it.
Call the police.
That's
Call
what
the
everybody-
police?
Call the police.
That's
yeah.
a good
let,
answer.
Let them.
Let them
I
handle
can't in
it.
good conscience go over there and spite the country, the country's well-being, and save him. But at
Right.
the same time, he is still
You're
a
a good
president.
man.
Okay.
You're a good
And
man.
he is still a
So-
human being.
So
So
if
if
he
they
wasn't-
get there in time enough for you, brother,
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
you
between
good.
you and them.
you
right?
good.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not doing it.
I'm gonna get on the phone with the cops, right? But meanwhile, before then, I'm gonna be like, look, how much is your life worth to you? Just straight up,
that's
just
smart.
straight up, because
That's
at
messed
the end
up,
of the
man.
day,
What would you do, Wavyy?
well,
I'll record it.
You rec-
I'll record
I'm
it.
messed
Is he the
up.
president? Is he the president?
Is he the president?
right now.
Okay, he's the president. You
He's the
gotta help
president.
him. You gotta help.
I'll record it.
You know
No,
what I would
no,
do?
hold on. You forgot this part. If you let him die,
Yep, that's why I
Pence
say you gotta
becomes
help him.
president.
You said if I don't,
That's right.
If you don't save him, Mike
Vice
Pence
president
becomes
is president.
That's why you gotta help.
I don't know.
There's still gonna be a re-election
Darth
though.
Vader himself.
Yeah.
That's who the
Nah, that's Darth Maul, bro.
I think we had a conversation about that before too.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody who calls their wife mother to be president of the United States. I don't want him making decisions.
Hold up,
That's very
when did
odd.
this happen?
No.
That's how he called what he refers to his wife. You know how we might say babe or honey or something. He calls his
That
wife
is very weird.
mother.
That is some
Mother, are you ready to go?
backwoods.
Oh my god.
Creep.
That would creep me out. Yeah, that's weird.
That's the sunken place
That would
right
creep
there.
me
Like,
Yeah, I think he's a robot.
what would you do if your girl called you father?
Ooh.
Father, we have to.
I like
that's
I don't know. That might be
You
kinda
like
sexy.
that?
'cause that's
so
too
you like
close
the whole
to-
daddy
I like
thing?
that.
Okay, I can do
Yeah,
daddy.
I know.
daddy.
I
can
don't
do daddy.
like that.
I can do
Myself
daddy
as a
and
woman, I can't
zaddy,
do it.
But father,
I could do zaddy, you know.
yeah, girl.
I
It's the
can't
same
do like,
You better-
hey
you better-
daddy,
you
nah.
better cut that out.
Like, zaddy, I like your bite. You
I'm
know?
on here flex.
I can't let it go. I can't let it go.
all right. So let's jump in a little bit
Yes.
more. First of all, since we're on Donald Trump, I was going to save Donald Trump for a little bit later, but you guys, you dove right in on that.
Start with
Yeah.
So, do you think he's going to get reelected?
Oh God.
Let's start with Wavyy. We'll go Wavyy and then work our way around.
From what I just heard recently, it was looking bad, but you know what I'm saying, I can't exactly count that right now because I don't know what can end up happening because I
Right.
really don't pay attention to that stuff. So I wouldn't want him to be president again, but
That's a good question in itself.
Yeah.
Because you're the voice of young people, right?
Right.
And so, and that's not an uncommon thing, you know, in your generational gap or whatever. Why? Oh, excuse me. Had a burp. Why is that?
We'll catch that.
Why don't I pay attention to it?
Yeah, because I'm not saying it in a judgmental way because I believe you have the right to put your energy in whatever you want to.
Right.
But something made you not want to pay attention to it. So why do you think that is?
It's boring.
I was hoping something a little.
Yeah, nah.
I like
I
that
mean,
answer.
you being real.
I like that answer.
It's boring, and it's like for a long time I felt like it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I fall into that category of people that felt like it just didn't matter what I did, like going to vote and all of that, because I felt like they're gonna pick who they want.
Right.
At the end of the day, and I felt like my vote didn't matter. So I mean,
Now that's another really great topic.
It
why,
is.
Why do you feel like your vote doesn't matter?
because I seen like just different people, like presidents that it was like, damn, like we all went hard for this president and that president ended up getting in there. So it was like just certain things, even not just the president, but the governors and stuff like that. It just felt like my vote didn't matter. It felt like the government is gonna go. I felt personally like the government was just gonna go with whoever they wanted to go with, and I felt like that's how Trump got into the office at the end of the day.
And you never felt like, did it ever hit your mind that what if 10 million other people also feel this way?
I'm sure they do.
Right. So then you got a huge margin of people. Like prime example, this in Trump's election, especially, and this is focusing on black people. And in both Obama's elections, we broke record turnouts, right? And then instead of keeping the agenda of what they had going, it was like, okay, Obama's not running, so damn near half of black people didn't vote.
Wow.
They just said, I did my voting the last 8 years, so that's who I wanted. I don't know who these other guys are, and they just didn't participate. And so if all the black people, because I'm not saying all black people are Democrats, right? But there's a lot of Democratic support from black culture,
right?
And if even a third more of those people had voted, there's no way he could have won the electoral college.
Wow.
If we'd had the same participation as Obama's election, would have had that in Trump and Hillary's campaign, or their battle, then even she would have not only won, she did win the popular vote, but she would have won it by a much larger margin, and would have given her way more seats in the votes in the electoral college, and possibly could have won it, both the popular vote and the electoral college.
Right.
Black people single-handedly, well, I won't say single-handedly, but had a big portion in comparison to the last two elections, had a big, heavy-handed, involvement in Donald Trump winning, essentially. Not because they wanted it, but because they did not come out.
Wow.
Now, Hillary's campaign, they dropped the ball. They were too arrogant. They just thought, I'm going to get this.
Yeah.
So that's where, ultimately the fault lies on their campaign. There were places they should have went that they didn't go, and those states went in Trump's favor, the ones that she didn't go to, because they felt like, you too good to come here. So
you felt she got like arrogant and was like, I'm not going there. And
and I don't know Hillary Clinton personal, so I'm not defending Hillary Clinton. What I'm saying is in comparison between her and Donald Trump, Hillary's rap sheet in the government is what she's accomplished in policies. Yeah. You might not agree with all her policies, but she's done a lot of good things.
She's done work.
Voted for a lot of good things. The Secretary of State did a lot of good things, did some stupid things too. But at the same time, if you're looking, because if me and you go to a job and apply for it, what are they going to do? What's your experience?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that has to be
I need to
there.
see your resume. Yeah.
For a job that important, like you go to, I want to be the manager. Oh, they're going through all your work history and determining, are you a person who is right for this position?
Right.
You have the experience to lead these people to do what we need to be done, right? So if you look at just their two resumes, whether you like one or the other or neither, it doesn't matter. But if you just looked at their resumes on face value, she was way more deserving,
fit than he was,
and way more fit
Absolutely.
exactly to be the president of the United States.
Wow.
And so moving with that energy, she dropped the ball. Her campaign dropped the ball because it was just like, wait a minute, it's me, a lifelong political servant who's been in the White House as a Secretary of State under President Obama, who's been the first lady, seeing how the White House is being ran every day. Like, who else? And then it's like,
Versus
Donald Trump is my competition? Oh,
honey boo boo.
man, please, man. I don't even have to come out the house for this one.
Wow.
And then you found out, oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah, you did.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So do you feel like Biden is more fit to be the president right now than Donald Trump is?
Yes,
God,
definitely.
yes.
Now, do I think he's the best option? No.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Good answer.
But I will not sit out the vote just because he's not my favorite candidate.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not going to lie to you. If I felt like the Republicans were running a president that I might not agree with all his policies, and I definitely don't like how the GOP runs the nation when they're in charge.
Right.
But if he was just way more sound, younger, a lot of experience, and then was like, there's some good stuff he's talking about, man. I don't know. Then I'd have to lean toward, if I'm looking at just him and Biden, then I'm looking going, I don't want to really vote Republican, but he's better. He's a better, because I'm not one of, I try to tell people this all the time.
You don't vote parties. I like that.
Right. There's Democrats, there's Republicans, there's independents. But for me, we're all Americans. Everyone acts like they got this real us versus them attitude. And it's like, beyond all of that, dude, having a brain blank, the parties are just ideology.
Yeah.
What's your ideology? It's not a team. It's not, we're not setting up for war.
Who do you
it's
agree
like,
with mostly?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so, when people take that too far, and they're doing violence or they're cussing people out, or I don't want nothing else to do with you because you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican. That's stupid.
That's just too
so
much.
stupid.
Because no matter how you
Yeah.
flip it, we're still American citizens. You
Yeah,
can hate my skin, my lineage, my party, whatever. You're still a fellow American.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're citizens of the same damn country.
That's
we're on
right.
the same team. So, that's what, Rob, give me your thoughts.
On Donald Trump? Well, I feel like Dave Chappelle said
whether he'll get reelected.
Whether he'll get reelected. Well, like I said, I feel like Dave Chappelle said. He said any reasonable person can look at him and say he's having a bad go of it. like legitimately, if you're reasonable, you got to look at him and go, yeah, he's not. It's like watching a very bad basketball player or a very bad singer sing, and you're sitting there going, just put down the mic when he says stuff. But it's sad that I get to speak to a lot of different people, and I was speaking to a older male, gay male, in his 70s, telling me how he loves Donald Trump, and I was really shocked to listen to an older gay male, tell me he loved. I had to sit there for hours to actually listen to him, and when he spoke, he was just like, "We just done better in this times," and and it was just one of those, listening to what he was talking about. It was kind of scary because you see the stark realities of the differences of how people view things. Yeah. So I don't think he'll win, but it's real possible, y'all.
Wow.
Like, if you don't get out there and vote, it's real possible, y'all.
But here's the thing. He only won last time because everyone just assumed there's no way he'll beat Hillary.
There's no way he will.
A lot of people stayed home. There's no way this clown is
Yeah.
going to win. But they know that now. Now they know the Democrats know the reality of how heavy the Electoral College can swing, right? And so they're not going to sit back and let that same thing happen again. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why they're still going hard for Biden. Even with Biden's, he's got a huge lead. You know, I'm looking at right now, Donald Trump in the second quarter just his campaign raised another $266 million.
Donald Trump or Biden?
His campaign, Donald Trump. Yeah.
Okay.
And so they're throwing everything they got.
And they're gonna come dirty.
The saving grace, the saving grace is when they just let Trump talk. He's the one that ruins his chances.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God.
The more and more he talks.
Well,
drinking water with 2 hands.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here, right?
Uh-oh.
Does he ruin his chances though? Because there's a lot of people who like that part of him.
You're not wrong.
And he plays into that on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Because the people that really follow him and go hard for him, they like all that.
Yeah. And like
ignorant nonsense.
And
it's crazy.
It reminds me of that movie Head of State with Chris Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like when Chris Rock just said however he felt
and
about
like,
things.
He was like, I don't care about it.
It's crazy.
Security.
But even the thing with that is he's pandering to his base, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think his base is way bigger than it really is. So you got to understand, especially with Republicans. Republicans are always proponents for capitalism, right? So then when you get a good Republican candidate, they go hard because they're like, I don't like that fool.
Yeah.
But the tax breaks I'm looking to get that I know the Democrats aren't going to give us because they want to have regulations and look out for people's welfare.
Yeah.
I want my tax breaks. I want to hold on as much more money as I can. Right. I want more money.
I want that trickle down.
And that Republican is going to give it to me.
Yeah.
And then when Trump came along, they were like, oh my God, this idiot could be president? Oh, they will use him and have him deregulating everything, passing tax cuts. We gonna make some money.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the only problem is here's why so many people are flipping, because they watched him do the stuff. Because I've had private conversations with people, especially Republicans with money, when it's like you're an educated, super successful, wealthy, person. There's nothing wrong with you being Republican, but why do you support Trump? Yeah. Like you guys can have another candidate, a way better candidate that maybe some of us can get behind. Right. But you are hell bent on supporting Trump. But you have too. I know you. You're too intelligent for this. And he said, "Man, money."
Yeah.
Because the things that he'll do, no other Republican president will do half of that stuff because they're worried about their political career and stuff. Trump doesn't have a political career. He could burn the place down.
Wow.
He don't care.
And it
either.
doesn't matter. Right, because he's just having a ball. Like Trump don't
Essentially.
give a damn.
Can you
Trump
imagine?
does not give two shits about doing
he
the work.
barely stayed in the White House. He's been traveling.
He's just having he's the same dude.
These 4 years he went like
he's
he's
the same
having a
dude
ball.
you've seen on the show on The Apprentice having a ball.
That's
and other
exactly
places.
it.
It's the same dude. He's doing the same thing. He's like, oh, work.
And I feel like that's why he wins. Like a lot of stuff, because like he said, because it's boring. Well, we can all say this for sure. Listening to anything about Trump is never boring.
No, but
y'all gonna stop singling me out.
But
all right, go ahead.
But no, but that's the thing. You can win a whole bunch too if you cheat and your whole team is down for cheating.
I'm gonna run.
But
you know what I mean?
My thing is this. I feel like what Trump did is he made middle class and lower class, predominantly Caucasians, he made them believe that he is one of them.
Yeah.
Touche. Which he has
That's
never been.
what he did.
Now that's the part I will give you credit on
And
as far as strategy.
they took it and swallowed it.
Yeah.
And they really, like, they stand up there in the campaigns. They're like, he's one of us. No, he's not.
He's never been one of you.
No.
He's from
I'm telling you. And then,
born to money.
y'all,
His
listen.
father was actually really wealthy.
Yeah. So someone I'm so ashamed to say this. Someone very close in my family is a huge Trump supporter. In my family, my blood of my blood.
How much do they make a year?
They're
6
pretty,
figures,
probably
5 figures?
about 5-6 figures.
So if it ain't 7 figures,
And
he
it's
ain't
not.
doing nothing for them.
And they are they're retired veteran, hardcore military. And that is the stance. I'm a GOP veteran, and I stand for this, and I stand for that, and I'm a Republican. And very, like, happy about it. And they are, die hard. I will vote for Trump as many times as I can. It's a very interesting conversation. Interesting dynamic.
Well, it's the promises.
Yeah.
It's the promise.
Touche.
And that's another thing I will say that he is. I think his best asset, he's good at galvanizing and making a bunch of promises that he has no intention on keeping. But for some reason, there's a section of people that still believe it.
Like a wall built by Mexico.
Yeah, you've seen...
What?
Right, every sane person, when he said, I want to build a wall and we're going to make Mexico pay for it. Mexico the former president of Mexico literally said, no, the fuck you're not.
Exactly.
On Twitter.
What, Mo?
Pretty much.
What are you talking about?
Like,
you can look it up. It's literal. He said, no, the fuck we are.
Right.
So you mean to tell you want us to build it and pay for it? Nah.
Right, like, come on. Yeah, that's fine.
Right. So,
and then he said he wanted it to be clear so people could see through it. I never understood that.
That is horrible.
He said he wanted it to be clear so people could what?
So you can go to the border and see your people. Like,
the dude wanted a trench with water and alligators in it in front of that.
This is real?
This is
Yes.
real.
Trump wanted this.
He actually said that.
They had to tell him,
Ridiculous.
sir, we cannot do this, sir. We cannot. Sharks, sir, we can't.
Sharks and alligators. First
thought
of all,
this was a cartoon.
I don't know where you think.
He
Yes.
no,
Seriously, he's kind of a cartoon villain.
Yeah, he really is. Like,
but I want to get off Trump.
let's get off.
Yeah, Lord Jesus, please.
I like his headpiece though. Go ahead.
I think I didn't add my opinion, but I don't think he'll be reelected
for real.
because he committed the mortal sin.
which
What would you say to that?
The mortal sin of he made sure ultra millionaires and billionaires made a lot of money, but the middle class and upper middle class that he promised his tax cuts and stuff was going to help and all that, they believed him. And that's the only reason why they voted for him.
Right.
They're like, we don't care how you act. We don't care about nothing. All the crap he's going to do, it's going to jack some people up, but not us.
Yeah.
We're in a tax bracket where it's not going to affect us.
We'll
so
be okay.
who cares? Right. But then they looked and said, hey, the last few years, they're like, man, I'm used to getting money back. I'm paying taxes this year after this dude's stuff. Hold on, he lied. I didn't want him to fuck my money. I wanted him to save me money or make me more money.
Right.
And he didn't.
Right.
So he committed the mortal sin. You don't play with greedy people's money.
No, you don't.
And you can't piss everybody off.
Yeah. Now, he's got his base. His base is a handful of people. It's the, I don't want to say the scum of America, but it's the most misled of America and some of the most uneducated of America. And then you have some people that they just vote party line, period. They don't care who's running. Even on the Democrat side,
which I never
you can run a turtle
that.
and you got people who are just going to vote party line, whether it's in their interest or not. The crazy thing about Trump's base is they vote against their self-interest by voting for him.
Yeah.
And they do it
and they
with
don't
a
realize,
smile
I don't
and
think
cheer.
they realize it.
They don't.
That's why politics
Shout out
scare
to
me,
public
because
school.
sometimes you look at it and you go, you do realize what you're doing goes completely against all your ethics, everything you believe in, but you're doing it because you want to win. That doesn't seem like it makes sense.
We do need to be prepared for voter suppression.
It's
going to happen again.
They're already doing it. Look at that.
Yes. And I feel like when he's up for re-election, and because we're going to go out and here's the thing. They know now that we're going to go out in full force. So anyone listening, be prepared for that. Stand online, do whatever you have to do, and we have to show up and we have to vote. And
not just that. You've got to reach out to, because here's the thing that a lot of people don't think about, especially, and I will say it, my beautiful black people, I love you to death. But I will say black people, not all black people, but there's a lot that I know, you know, that if you ask them who's running for president, they can tell you. And you say, okay, now who's running for mayor of your city, governor of your state?
Yeah, bro,
councilman,
you just got me.
Senators, representatives.
They don't know.
You beat me all in the head.
Right.
And you know what the crazy thing is? All of these people have longer terms than a president.
Yeah.
But we don't be knowing. Yes, I said don't be.
I was about to say.
I like it.
No.
I like it.
It's all right.
Do that one in there.
We black.
We don't be knowing
You had
who
your country
these
moment.
people
That's what we
are that are here long after the president is gone.
Right.
And
You know
can
what I
say
mean?
whether or not his things he say actually get through.
Yeah, because like you look at the governor of Georgia, where they just had all that everything just kind of falling apart for the primary voting. where there were people literally waiting for 7 hours in the scalding
It was
heat.
ridiculous.
Not social distance, because they
Absolutely
minimize
ridiculous.
in a mostly Democratic area, minimize their polling places to one for a county of
seen
several
that.
hundred
That's crazy,
thousand people, right?
That's crazy.
And then even they had to bang on doors to get in there after a certain time because they're like, well, sorry, you guys were waiting in line, but we're closing the poll now. And they're like, nah, bro, we'll tear this place down. You have to reach out, know who your representatives are, know who your governor is, have those phone numbers.
Good
you
information.
have to get active.
I was about to say that. It's great information.
Yeah, you have to get active and deal with those people. To be honest, it is who gives two shits who the president is. And the reason why I say that is because, again, you have the Congress, you have your senators, you have your congressmen and women who are making laws and policies and decisions that affect your life.
That's true.
You know what I mean? A president is a temporary placeholder.
Yeah.
And he sits up top and he goes, okay, I like those policies. Well, I'll approve it, or no, I'll veto it. And then they just go around them anyway if they really feel strongly about it. You know what I mean?
Look at Barack Obama. Like that last term, he couldn't hardly do anything. The whole government was shutting down to keep him from making any kind of move.
Right. And people thought it was just him not doing stuff, but it was not the
shut
case.
the government.
He was being stonewalled by the GOP. And you know what? We let him down. And when I say we, I don't mean black people. I mean just America, period. Because all the Democrats, because he won the presidency. We had a Democratic House, and when he was coming in, we had a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate, and he would have came in as a Democratic president, and he would have had all the backing and the power to get all of his policies done. But then we voted for a president, but we didn't vote for our senators.
Our senators.
And what did we end up with? We ended up with we had a Democratic president who had a GOP-led Senate. So they literally said our only mandate this whole president's term is to keep him from doing anything.
And then mention
they
the
said
most
it
asinine
publicly.
things in the media. They just kept bringing up weird stuff in the media when Barack. It was just weird. Yeah, I don't think that's his name. No, this is not his social security number. No, he's not American. Oh,
like,
where's he really from?
Hussein Obama.
But nobody mentioned the fact that he got money in Russia. This guy? Yeah, okay, come on, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so and that's what I'm talking about, the power of being involved beyond just who's running for president.
Yeah.
Because essentially at the end of the day, the other people are more important. They're longer term, and they vote on actual policies. The president of the United States does not make laws. That's another thing people don't get.
Yeah.
You know, some people, not all.
And he very rarely gets them through if he does.
He's the head of the executive branch. He oversees all the other sides, right? All the people that are under him that carry out the executive stuff. You know, it just basically he's an overseer, right? He's like a president of a company.
He's a manager.
Right, he's a manager. But he doesn't actually make any laws. Congress makes the laws.
Yeah.
So if you don't vote for congressmen and women, then you're not voting in your own interests. If you don't know who these people are, they're the ones who actually make the law. And then it goes to the senators. And if they approve it, then it goes to the president to be signed into law. You feel me? He just looks and goes, I like that.
I was going to say, so he has the choice to be like, no, I don't like it.
He can veto it, but if they feel really strong about it, and if
They
you
can
have
push back.
so like if you have a Democratic Congress and a Democratic Senate, they could push any law through they want, no matter what the president thinks, because they got all the power, because they're co-equal branches of government.
Yeah.
The legislative, the judicial, and executive are all equal power.
Or supposedly supposed to be.
The president, the executive branch, is the only side that has one person that leads their branch. You know what I mean? So, but they can overstep the president if he doesn't want to do something.
The government can overstep.
Yeah, I mean, like, he can come up with legislation, but very few times have presidents ever come up with legislation, and it's usually during a time of war or the economy collapsing or something like that. Well, there's very few times he comes.
Well, in that he can only commission it.
He can commission.
He will never actually initiate any policy.
And then they have to go through so many houses and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's why there's over 400 bills on the Senate floor that they have knocked off or vetoed by Congress. Actually trying to help people, actually putting forward good policies. And so when you hear them say all the time, the do-nothing Democrats, they've been busy bees like a mother.
Oh, yeah.
But you have the head saying the do-nothing Democrats, they don't do nothing. Meanwhile, they're sending policies through daily to help people. And the Senate's going,
Oh yeah.
Nope.
And then they can.
Mitch McConnell said, "Consider me the Grim Reaper when it comes to the policies they send up here." He literally called himself. He said, basically saying, "I plan to dead every policy they send me."
And they actually made a thing
that
called
power
filibustering.
to say that and know that you're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and think about it. They actually made something called filibustering, where your job is just to sit up there and talk until the other person says, "Okay, I quit, bro. You got it. Just take it. I don't care. I don't care."
They've done it for 20 hours.
Oh
before.
God,
that's why you gotta do like my girl Maxine, reclaiming my time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a prime example because of voting and being involved beyond just the president. Mitch McConnell essentially is more powerful than the president of the United States. But you ask most people, do you know who Mitch McConnell is?
They don't know.
Nah, who's Mitch McConnell?
the dude that works at a grocery store.
Right, he leads the Senate.
My man Mitch. I know Mitch.
Right, he leads the Senate. So he has all the power. He can veto anything Congress sends. He can push for anything the Senate wants to send or back the president on anything the president would like to see happen and send that through, or turn something down. Or if the president vetoes something that he likes, he can then go back to the Senate and Congress and go, we want to override the president's veto because I want to do this.
Yeah.
So, but people don't know this stuff. And it's mind-boggling that people don't even care to figure it out or see, because the people you're paying attention to and voting for aren't even the most powerful. You know, if you don't know your local senators and congressmen and who's running for governor and all that, you don't have, because you can actually reach out like you're seeing right now with the Black Lives Matter movements and the marches and protests for peace and equality and justice, all these things happening. You think all these people are like, you know what? They've just been enlightened after hundreds of years. You know what? We're wrong. I've been an evil person all this time. And I think now that I've watched these protests, when they burn down that Wendy's, well, the little white girl burned down the Wendy's, it changed my mind.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Black people do deserve equality.
And then they showed up in dashikis, which I still don't understand. They
And actually put their.
Hey, yo, I give it to him, but I was so confused.
No, I don't give it to him at all. I was like,
so
please
confused.
cancel it.
Because I was sitting there
it was
like,
bad.
when did this happen?
Did not like it.
Don't patronize us. That's
right.
what I
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but
just do what you do.
Right, but you know, so what I'm saying is that not some of these people may be having a change of heart, or it might be like, I've always been about that. I'm glad more people are starting to see it. But then you have that section of politicians who are like, we better, I don't like this, and I don't give a damn what equality they get or don't get, but there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
And we need them to know when it comes voting time that we showed up for them.
That we showed up in dashikis.
You know what I mean? Because these
dashikis
they're
with our
not playing.
fists up.
Right.
And kneeled. We not only that, we kneeled.
Yeah, that was
which is so funny, because a year ago, if you kneeled on anything that had anything to do with politics,
such a huge
it was
issue.
a problem.
But now everybody want to kneel. Like, come on, miss me with
oh
it.
God.
So what about some of the other well, I don't want to say not as well known, but are a little bit further down the food chain, like progressives like AOC, like Alexandria OcasioCortez. I know most of you guys are familiar. You're looking like you're not.
No, I'm with you. Don't worry about this whole side of this table. This whole side of the table.
It's all good. It's all good. So, thoughts? You know who AOC is?
I do not.
What?
See, this is why he's not with. No, you know what I've learned? It's not necessarily that.
I'm not judging. I'm just
like
wondering
they'll teach us,
how.
but they don't. We don't pay attention so much to the names and like who's your favorite director? Yeah, but then what's your favorite movie? Usually it's not the same as the director. That's how I kind of feel.
Right.
So, and it's the same thing with politics.
Well, AOC, they call her AOC. Her name's Alexandria OcasioCortez. She was a progressive who was just a community leader. She was just putting together community stuff in New York. Okay. And she was encouraged by other progressives to run for office against a long-term establishment Democrat who, a lot of people wanted to get rid of for a long time, but it was so established for decades that nobody could get rid of him. And he was like one of the big political names. So it was like, how dare you even run against him? Like, you don't stand a chance, right? Because all the establishment backing, they're going to funnel millions of dollars. The corporations that back them are going to funnel millions. Like, you can't compete with that, right? So they thought. AOC, grassroots, like Bernie Sanders, grassroots. The people supported her election or her candidacy, and she ran against this establishment Democrat who had been there for decades, had a lot of power. and upset him, beat him, pulled him out of his seat, which threw the balance off.
Right.
But she's actually somebody who is going for. We got our little young producer throwing up a sign that says commercial. Do we have a commercial, man?
We got a commercial.
Shout out to the young one.
For the future producers, when somebody asks you something like that, just be like, yeah. If it says it on the board, just be like, yeah.
But no, let me finish this point, and then we're going to go ahead and break for this commercial.
Yes.
But AOC, but no, the ultimate reason why I was like, how do you not know who she is? Because the president has literally attacked her on Twitter.
Okay.
Other
now
places.
I did hear about somebody that happened.
A lot of big name politicians, especially in both the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, have tried. It became a thing. She started becoming a Teflon Don because she was a newbie.
Oh wow!
And she's new to Congress and all that stuff. But you had like long-term, powerful, congressmen and women try to like, I'm gonna go after her, thinking she's she's easy pickings because she's new and fresh, she's young meat. And they attacking, and then they get bit.
Nice.
Her snapbacks were crazy, and they get embarrassed, right? Little Puerto Rican chick.
See, now you're gonna have to have me do some research, and I love Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So she's been attacked, so that's what she got famous for. She was kind of famous for upsetting that dude's seat because nobody thought it could happen.
Right.
But then she got more famous.
Always root for the underdog.
Right,
man.
because she speaks on truth, and she's really actually for the people, and they don't like that. Even some of the Democrats don't like that. You know what I mean? They try to keep telling her like, yo, find your place, young one. And she keeps going, my place is where you're standing.
If you remember, that's how Barack Obama came in, though. He came in and everybody was like, after that, I think it was one of his first speeches, everybody went, who's that black dude? And it blew.
Yeah.
They're already looking at her for future president. She's too young. She's still in her 20s. So
man, she gets Michelle Obama or Oprah on her side.
AOC.
That's the problem.
That's the AOC, but okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so they all would keep trying to attack her. A few of them snapped on her, and she snapped back. And so other ones thought, well, I can handle her. And then they tried, but they're all big names. Right. And that's why everyone's like, why y'all attacking the little young congresswoman?
Dope, though, because what they're doing.
Give it to them every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're helping her out.
They made her more and more and more famous. Because they're like, everybody, the whole world's like, ooh, you should just go sit down.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to break for this commercial real quick, and then we're going to come back and jump right back into this. You're cutting up with the Cutting Up crew.
Yeah.
Cutting up.
We in here.
Yeah.
All right. We are back in the building.
Yeah,
we had our little commercial break real quick.
Yeah.
Rob had to do a number 2, so.
No,
he said his butt doesn't hurt this time.
Oh, your butt don't hurt.
I love how y'all care about my butt.
I forgot about that.
Let's talk about how strange it is.
You the one who was talking about it was hurting. I'm just saying.
Hey, that shit was hurting. I was in the middle chair. But I love how caring y'all. Y'all actually care about my ass.
We care about your ass.
I don't care about your ass, bro. I'm
gonna let them talk. That's why we on this side of the table. My cousin brought up my ass, and then she smiled when she mentioned my ass. I must be working out. Guys, dang.
We just need to make sure that it wasn't hurting anymore. You know?
I'm gonna keep doing
Go
squats,
ahead,
girl.
do squat life.
You mentioned it.
I wanna go back. Here's something I do want to touch on about politics, right? Because we have you, Miss SDOT Lee, and you're a very intelligent woman who's experienced in the world, in all the best of ways. And something that I think was highlighted, especially in 2019 and especially in 2020 as well, in 2019 and 2020, women were moving the ball in a lot of scenarios. Absolutely. Like in Alabama, women, it was black women who saved Alabama's ass. Yeah. And their last, was it governor election?
Yeah.
I think it was the governor election. They had the pedophile trying to run for office.
Yeah.
They're pedophile. Everybody was letting it kind of ride. Yeah. And the black women said, nah.
You gotta stop that right there.
Yeah. They got active, and when they got active, they took over.
Yes.
And they literally moved the ball on a state election.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you as a black woman.
Yes.
How do you view black women, or not even just black women, but women's presence, period, in politics and participation? Do you think they do enough, aren't involved enough? Are they just not given credit for really being the ones behind moving politics left and right? Okay. Or where do women stand in this whole arena?
So good question, and thank you for asking. I feel like women as a whole, that we have always been the backbone, right? I feel that, and we are the rib, right? And so whenever you see a powerful man there's a powerful woman somewhere.
Say that.
Okay.
Yes.
And what I love right now is I feel like powerful women are coming to the forefront. I feel like we've always been there. We've always been involved in politics in any and all aspects in life. It's just that we never really had that voice. We weren't allowed to have that voice. And now it's like, oh, we're going to take that voice regardless because we've always been here. So now we're going to let everybody know that we're here. So for me, even with politics, like what you said, it was the black women that stood up, or women. I don't even want to just censor out just black women because I'm a black woman and I love us, of course. But I just want to highlight all women because we are powerful and we're not stifling ourselves anymore. And I don't think it's that era where it was like, oh no, the man can just speak by themselves now. You know what I mean? Like the man has to be. Yeah, now it's like we're opening up, and if you got something to say, queen, speak. And I love that. And we're speaking. Not only are we like, okay, speaking, we're not sitting there like, oh, I don't know what this is. You know? Now we're like, okay, you want us to speak? Well, good, because we've been waiting. So let me tell you how I feel about it. You know? So
do you think women should have the right to vote?
Of course.
But why?
Because I don't even think it's a woman or a man. I feel like it's an individual.
Do you think
I feel like everyone has the right to vote.
Do you think that legislation will actually get passed one day?
I'm sorry?
Do you think that legislation will actually get passed one day, allowing women to vote?
Will legislation allow women to vote?
Let me stop messing with you.
Yo,
hold up. Wait, I was about to rope him in. Listen, I was about to rope him in.
Hold on, why? She started reaching for the pen like she was about to stab him.
She switched the whole body.
Yo, she said all the way up. Hold up, y'all. This whole thing, she had been sitting back. Now she like, you know, all that posture change.
No, I know. SDOT is such a woman and so much of a woman that I knew if I started like doing any kind of little slide tackle.
It was about to get hot. It was about to get hot.
It's a ping pong table. It was good.
If you're listening to us on podcast, you couldn't see SDOT Lee.
But everything got
sit
real
up
hot.
Straight and get on the edge of her seat like it was about to go down. You know what I mean?
What are we talking about here?
Everything got real dark, real quick.
Look,
me and Wave over here like this. It's about to get good.
Everybody got quiet. I'm like,
who you think gonna win?
that Lynn Whitfield, thin line between love and hate phase.
That's serious.
The only thing that popped in my head, it's about to rain on your head.
Miss Sophia, no.
that is so funny.
But no, of course women have the right to vote. Do you think women are active enough in politics? Women are starting to have more of a voice in politics.
Right.
And I want you guys' opinion on this too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want you to get in these deep waters and get in trouble with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure you don't drown. I'll be the one to throw you the lifesaver as a joke.
So do you think with women involved in politics that politics are better?
Absolutely.
Just men making the decision. Like
Absolutely. Because you get a different perspective. Whenever you're in a situation where you have more than one perspective, I feel like it should be welcomed.
Yeah.
Right? Because when it's just one, it's
I think
like
that's
tunnel
what made
vision.
America strong in the first place.
Absolutely.
Is eventually everybody started putting their hands in, and when you got only one culture saying, "Hey, we should do this,"
right?
Well, then you don't get the guy who makes this, and you don't get the guy who makes that.
Ooh, good.
You don't get the
good
lady
point.
who says that.
Yeah. So here I'm gonna throw you a wild card here.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So in your humble opinion, where do you think America is? How far out do you think we are from a woman president?
Oh man, I think we're there.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, there's not even one running.
Listen, there will be.
None of the females made it through the primaries.
They didn't, but they were there.
Yeah, but Hillary was in the last one.
They were there.
Right, I get.
And we spoke about why she didn't win.
Yeah.
So that's key. Had more individuals, had more of us went out and droves
and paid attention.
Let me ask you, so why do you think so many women voted for Trump? Even with everything that was out there, even all the allegations, even the hot mic tape that we all heard about grabbing them in the vagina,
right,
and all of that. But there was still, now mostly, statistics show it was mostly white women that voted for him.
Right.
But they're women nonetheless. Why is it that you think that they voted for him versus, oddly, another white woman who's educated,
right,
and you put in her time, had the resume, and by all accounts, in comparison to Trump, should have been the president. But
I'll tell you my thoughts.
I think it's
good answer.
I saw that face. This is about to be a good answer.
I think it's, and I'm trying to feel like the best way to say this
She was like,
to hit
"Dun-dun-dun,
both.
dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun."
Yeah, I was like, glad you asked. So I feel like there's two things here. One is the demographic, right? And then what we spoke about earlier, I think that he pandered. So he pandered to that targeted audience on purpose. I want you to feel like I am one of you. So now you have this specific audience that he's pandering to who does not look like us if we're really going to be real.
Touché.
So what's probably happening is in those households, they're following behind what their husbands are saying, what their brothers are saying, how they were raised, what they grew up on.
So
and they grew up on, this is what you like, bitch, shut up.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? It's different.
So you're saying when they looked at Hillary, they were like, I can't really see her beating on me like that, but him, he looks
Pretty
like
much.
the one that
My
would beat on me.
husband does this, and he speaks like this, and he likes him, so I'm going to go with this.
Honestly, I like what she just said, though. She said he pandered to them.
He definitely did.
Hillary did what you said earlier. She just assumed I'm one of you,
right?
But that assumption kind of kicked her in the ass.
And I think the first thing you said, because that was exactly my ideology behind that, was in America we have a matriarch and a patriarch system. You know what I mean? And now even there's gonna come a day where even white women are gonna have to get out there, start protesting, burning Wendy's downs and stuff like that.
But they
and
did
I know
in
it's
the
like,
60s and
well, I
50s.
mean, here's the thing that a lot of people don't look at. The white woman has been the ally to the white man, of course, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of her options and decisions were dictated by that man to follow suit, follow you.
That's it right
he's
there.
The patriarch. You follow. That's the American way.
Absolutely.
Old school.
Unfortunately.
That's why you hear them shout that, make America great again.
That's
They're
it.
like, want to go back to where we can smack our wife, tell her to shut up. The Negroes knew their
You
place.
should
They get off the
Right.
sidewalk. They need to move off the sidewalk when I'm walking. Oh, yeah, bro.
Right. So where in our community is different. And it's not to be funny and it's not to say every single person. We're just talking majorities here.
Generally.
But in our community, the women are very strong and opinionated, and if they want to tell you something, they're gonna tell you.
Yeah.
It ain't that smacker tell her get back in the kitchen. She
You
might
can try.
she might cut you.
No. She gonna come out of that kitchen with that hot pan.
Right. But then you look at a median household or a suburban household, or even look at poor white areas or even suburban white areas, especially very traditional households.
Right.
Yeah.
The woman
It's different.
tends to follow the lead of the husband, even
That's
if
true.
she disagrees.
Yeah.
Right.
So when he says we're
Right.
Republican, she's like,
That's
well,
what we
we're
are.
Republican.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And which is funny, I'm starting to notice like the younger ladies starting to make a bit of a change to that. They like,
yeah.
we're Republicans. You can be whatever the hell you want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of you Republican, but me and Tyrone are Democrats.
That's what. Thank you.
God always has a way to get the great
Me and
redemption.
Devontae felt like.
Devontae. No, she did not say Devontae.
So let me.
You're
I
out
wanna-
there dating Devontae.
I want to swing over here to the younger side of the table.
Yeah.
Well, the younger corner. The younger
Ooh,
corner.
cold
of the
blooded.
table.
You ain't gotta do that.
No. Welcome to the group, player. Wavyy, you're the younger of all of us, right? You're part of the younger generation, which brings such a big dynamic to this whole table, right? What is it that there's a lot of older people who look at the young people as like, even what you said earlier, you're like, politics is boring. Yeah. And so you have older people that look at you and like, I can't stand you young bastards. Like, why are you not participating in your own, government, your own country's, how it inner workings and all of that? And he cares about Instagram and Call of Duty and rapping. Everybody raps. Even though you're actually a dope rapper, like you said, rap. You know what I mean?
Super dope.
I appreciate y'all.
There's a lot of cats that can't do what you do. And
I didn't want to drink my water when y'all start singing.
Yeah.
but no, seriously. So a lot of the older generation think you guys just don't give a damn. But it's not a thing. In my opinion, it's not a thing of that you guys don't give a damn. It just hasn't been enough of a bridge to give you a reason to give a damn. Or I think a lot of it also comes from the older people's attitudes toward you about it. So you just go, you know what? Well, I don't have to give a damn and be involved at all. So I'm not going to kiss your ass to be involved or, do all of this. What do you think the older generations need to do to bridge the gap with the younger generation? What would make y'all more into it or want to get more involved?
I mean, I can talk about this table right here. Like even when y'all start to talk about certain stuff, it's stuff I don't know. You know what I mean? Just being honest, it's stuff I don't know. So if it's taught to us in a way to where we can actually understand and be like, oh, okay, instead of being like these schools trying to shove all this knowledge down there, shit is boring. We like, you know what I'm saying? But if we have the opportunity to sit down and build with the older people and be like, wow, like that's interesting. If it's even groups, if we get vans and we all go to the town hall and we sit in and watch this stuff, it'll be more interesting. It'll make us want to rise. Like, okay, yeah, we need to take a position in to changing how this is done and stuff like that. But if it's more hands-on, other than it just being shoved down our throat, like if we had actual direction, if we had people in the neighborhood giving us direction to where we would be more interested in it, I feel like.
Yeah, because you guys are strongly involved in your own, especially with the protests and all. Like we see who took the reins on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's obvious. Like that one great thing that I don't know if enough people are paying attention to is like with what you just said. Younger people, they found somewhere they could get involved and what they could throw their support and energy behind, and then they went full force. Still doing it right now to this day. Still out there doing it. It ain't our old asses out there.
Right.
You know, we at home like, well, it's 9:30.
I don't like to go out after dark.
The young folks got tents. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying young folks like I'm old, but the younger generation, they got tents and everything. Like they living out there. It's like, you know, I've been looking. Look, I felt old though because I was looking like, none of these motherfuckers got a job.
That's so funny.
Nowhere to go. Who's paying the
funny.
rent? You know, who's doing? You know,
That man living in the tent.
Right.
Sound like my parents now.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah.
But you know, so who do you think? Because once you become an adult, it is no one else's responsibility to be involved in how your country's being ran, right? Because if you don't care about politics, it doesn't matter because politics cares about you regardless, right? So, and I say all that to say, who do you think should be reaching out? Do you think the older generation should be reaching out to the younger generation and like, here, let us teach you this. We're coming to you. Will you get involved? Or do you think it's the responsibility of the younger generation to reach out to the older ones and say, we need to know moving forward how to do better than you did?
Yeah, I think that. I feel like it needs to be a two-way street. We need to want to actually we need to want to do it. I mean, because if we don't want to do it, we're not going to do it. You know, just like how you just mentioned about the protests and all of that. It's like I said, it's hands on. So anything we can get our hands on and actually go out and be productive in that way, like we're down for it. But I do feel like if the older people need to reach out too. It just needs to be a collective. Yeah,
right.
It needs to be a collective of things.
You know, I do just want to say one thing. I think the old people are on this side of the table, and I think like I just want the people to know when y'all hear old people, SDOT is not in that category.
Me and Wave on this side of the
I
table.
am not in that category. I just need to tell y'all, you know, like I'm like in between. You know what I'm saying? I'm still youthful enough to be wild, but mature enough to be
I'm trying to find
with
the
wisdom.
sun again,
you know what I'm saying?
That shade was heavy. That shade was heavy.
I keep hearing older people. I'm like, no, you can't claim
I'm
that
just
over
mad
here.
you pointed directly at us. Like you didn't have
Y'all
to
don't
point
receive. I'm not there
You
yet.
like them
I'm not there yet. I still got some years.
First of all, I'm not there yet. Hold up.
I think I think you're my elder, and I think I know you're my elder.
No,
are you sure?
You're the oldest one at the table.
I am not.
That's not true. I won't say that's not. I'm not saying
age.
that's true, but
Listen, y'all making it sound like I'm old. Let me tell y'all something, okay?
Hold on. Okay, so everybody go across the table and tell ages. Let's go.
Okay, we can.
Wait.
Cause listen, I already know. Look, you said we ain't doing
You
that.
the youngest. What you talking about?
I'm 29. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, I mean, you know, come on. I'm 28. I knew he was my
I'm 27.
elder.
See, you still the oldest.
I know he's not
You still the
27.
oldest.
He's definitely like 29. I know he's
Wavy?
29.
Or him?
I'm 28.
Rob?
So y'all are my elders.
No. She said
I
don't
knew
fix
you talking about Rob.
She said 29. She know what she talking about.
I told
So-
y'all what it was. You know,
So Wavy,
28.
Wavy, what I like what you're saying about the bridging that gap you know, to the younger people. What age do you think it's I don't want to say appropriate, but what age do you think younger folks should start being more involved and become more serious about politics? And I'm not saying like don't go to the club and don't have your youthful fun, but at what point? Because no matter when you decide to start looking at politics or researching and caring, like I said already, decisions are being made for you, whether you're helping make them or not. They're being made for you. Right. You know, I heard a saying that said, "the hardest choice you'll ever make is the one that's made for you."
Ooh, wow, that's a good one.
So if you don't make a choice, then what you're left with is the choice.
Yeah.
And so you know, regardless, you know, you still have what? Oh.
I got your back.
Edit that out.
Got your back.
But so, what age do you think is appropriate, or what, in your opinion, should the younger generation start taking this stuff more serious and start getting more heavily involved?
Yeah.
College years. What years is college years?
Was that 18
19, 20.
Yeah,
I
even
I
17.
feel like in that range. I'm late. I'm late with it because I really didn't look into this stuff. But like when we start getting up there, because I'm thinking about that show on Netflix, Dear White People, and the type of political stands that they were taking on there. So about that time, like 18 up, I feel like it's more so time to actually get into it, because we're gonna be left and we're gonna be looking like Wavyy Jonez on the.
Are you gonna get more
Cuttin
involved?
Up? Huh? I'm learning now, so I feel like now is the opportunity to really like take from this conversation and go back, do my research, look who the hell the AOC is, and all of these people are.
Right.
And I'll tell you a great way to start. It's online. It's on YouTube. Crash Course University, where they go.
It's
over.
not for dummies, right? Because I don't.
No, it's not for dummies. but it's like 11 minutes, 15 minutes, and they do world history. They do, but it's funny and kind of enjoyable. And that was a good way to get started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Taught me something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
most
do something like that.
I mean, I like to. You're a very prolific dude, and you're still in your 20s. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I think your not only your acting career, you're already being successful as an actor. That's going to continue to grow, but then even your music,
Speaking.
you're starting to become more and more successful in your music, and that's going to grow. You're going to have a powerful voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you
Already
will have,
do.
Yes, you will have opportunities.
Yeah.
You will have
You're
opportunities.
far too calm, man.
Yeah,
You'll have opportunities to speak to people on levels that most people your age won't.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you say, and it's not always got to be serious, but what you say in those opportunities is going to hold a lot of weight.
Absolutely.
So people like you are, researching and learning more and more and more, and that's all life is, bro.
Yeah.
It's learning. Don't nobody know. I know a
That's
lot
all
about
we here to
politics.
do.
I don't know every single thing. There's some things I have to go.
You
and
know a
research.
lot, though. You know a lot.
Right,
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah.
you're doing
Definitely
this-
know a
Yeah,
lot.
but that's
for
his
years.
thing,
Yeah.
Everybody has that thing they
Yeah.
gotta know about. They just feed on
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I think is dope too, just with us collectively, is that everybody has their niche with things, and this is how we all learn. Because, some of our other episodes, he's speaking on stuff, and I'm just like,
Dang.
this is dope. Yeah,
I
and I'm
find myself
learning.
same
Like,
way, yeah.
You heard that,
so
Kevin?
this is dope.
Yeah, because you just, as you get older, you get so far out of range with
Yeah.
all the newer stuff.
Oh, that's what happened to you.
That's sad,
Dang,
man.
that sucks.
Is that what happened in
Jeez,
Green?
is that what I gotta look forward to? Look, he tried it. He was quick with it too. He almost got me.
I
was like,
haven't been
I
through
had
that
to
yet.
swerve. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I done seen
Yeah, I'm not there
SDOT
yet.
At KNW.
Oh, yeah.
Not
KNW.
Okay, let's stop playing.
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
KNW
I've never
good.
been.
See, look.
I've never been.
Hey, I was going to KNW when I was 13. Stop playing. That's
okay.
good.
Rob was
Little
like
hot
that.
sauce.
That rice pudding. That rice pudding is the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
The rice pudding.
There's a such thing as rice pudding? There's a such thing as rice pudding?
You know what?
We're
I
getting
love that moment.
We could talk about this all day long, but
Yes.
Unfortunately,
We gotta
we're
wrap
starting
it.
to run out of time. You know what I mean? Shout out to KNWs, even though they're not paying us, but you lucky. SDOT Lee goes often.
And crash.
Otherwise,
You can have people lined up out there like, yo, it's not here. Let's not come through yet.
And do you got that rice pudding?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never tasted it, but
I want
they
what
said it's
SDOT
good.
get.
they're going to put a picture up there. Watch.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm like
Dominic
that.
Santana said
Like, we
rice
never
pudding's
seen her
off
here,
Yeah, look.
but hell, she's
Who
giving
here
us
at this
shout-outs.
table that
was
has
dumb
had
crazy,
rice
yo.
pudding? I've never even known there's
I've
a
never
thing
had
called-
it.
What is rice
I've had
pudding?
it once in my life, and as a kid, and it's ugh.
Yeah, I've never
Have
had
you
it.
seen rice pudding? Guys, it's good.
Is it good?
You've had rice
Okay.
pudding? Rice pudding. Okay, all right. I've
Anywho.
never had rice pudding.
So, but if you're listening to us, thank you for listening to us on the podcast.
Yes.
And if you're watching us, thank you for joining us. And we
Absolutely.
hope that you will join us on the next episode of Cuttin Up Talk Show.
Cuttin' Up.
We got a really good episode for
Yeah.
you. Again, we're gonna get controversial.
Ooh, okay.
Next
Ooh, that's
time,
nice.
yeah.
You put
I like
every
that.
syllable.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So goodbye from myself, Wavyy Jonez, and
Yeah.
the incomparable Robert Covington.
My friend.
And as normal,
Yes.
S.Dot Lee, Lady S.Dot Lee, could you please take us out with a word of your great wisdom?
Yes, you guys, I want to remind you to move in love. If there's anything I can tell you, move in love. Hate has no place. And anything that you do from the soul, man, is always going to go right. So move in love, soul love. That's what soul love
Soul
is about.
love.
Yeah, soul
Move
love.
your love around. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Right.
Like
side
Pac
to
said,
side.
put
You
it
got to
around.
stand up in it. But no,
I get it.
Holla at you. Cutting Up Talk Show. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Later.
Oh God.
Why they got us cutting up? Why they got us cutting up?